if you're the kind of guy that goes out there and say, okay, I gotta be aggressive, and you just go out there throwing bullets full out the war, completely sometimes out of control, stick around. I'm gonna talk to you about two things that are gonna help you your game a lot when you go out there and play. Okay, it's really, really gonna help you. I really suggest you check it out. Hey guys, Mauro here. Many times I see players from all at every level that want to be aggressive, and it seems like they think that being aggressive means, okay, you just go out there and hit the ball as hard as possible, you know, try to hit it hard from every angle, try to be aggressive on the volley when it's very risky and it's difficult to do it, try to be hit that first serve, hit a bomb on the first serve, even if your percentage is really low, but you're happy because you probably make one ace every 3 or 4 games that you serve, instead of thinking on the percentages. One thing that you want to pay attention is there are two kinds of aggressiveness. There are two ways you can be aggressive. It's full out aggressive and passive aggressive. Full out aggressive is a guy, we all know, is a guy that is big. Usually it's a big guy that is tall, has the bomb of the serve, hits the forehand really hard. It's just a guy that bangs everything. He's just a guy that puts its power player, He's a guy that puts all the power, all the speed on the ball out there. And then on the other side, you have the passive aggressive player. That's a guy that I think that's one of the things that we have failed at producing, that kind of player in the US, and that's why we haven't had another player like Agassi or Sampras. Passive aggressive player is a guy that is much smarter, has a wider variety of game. The guy, he knows how to use his speed. He knows how to use the slice. He knows how to use the spin. He knows how to use the angles. He knows how to volley. He knows how to serve. It's not. He might not be a master of everything, because you cannot master everything when you cover an all-around game. You usually still gonna be the same. You're gonna have probably two weapons, like a big serve or a big forehand, or probably a big serve and a good volley or something like that. But this is a guy that he hits everything back, and he puts a lot of pressure on you because of that. To me, the full out aggressive player is like the typical guy that has a big serve and a big forehand, let's say. And I think that has been the case with several of our American players, big players, tall players. All right, we know the story. Big serve, you know, good forehand, and they come to the net. Sometimes it's a big serve and they come to the net, you know. But we haven't had a player like, let's say, for example, you have a player like Ferrer that you say, well, he didn't have any weapon. He didn't have a big forehand or a big serve. Yeah, but the guy, for how long did he stay in the top 10? If I'm not wrong, like 10 years. The guy can hit the forehand. He can hit the backhand. He can bowl if he needs to. He can hit the ball back on the return of serve. His serve is not a big weapon, but he doesn't just push the ball. You know, that's the kind of the passive aggressive guy, the guy that makes you think, the guy that is playing chess with you, the guy that says, you're not gonna beat me with power. If you're gonna beat me, it's gonna be like a chess game. You're gonna have to play the point. You're gonna have to move the ball around. You're gonna have to slice. You're gonna have to use top spin. You're gonna have to move forward. You're gonna have to be consistent on the baseline. It's an all-around. The passive-aggressive player is an all-around player that, instead of focusing on saying, I want a massive forehand or serve, he says, you know what? I want a massive forehand, but I'm not gonna dedicate 90% of my time to that. When I go out and practice, I'm gonna practice my slice. I'm gonna practice my top spin on both sides, forehand and backhand. I'm gonna practice my volley. I want to be good at on the overheads. I want to be good returning serves. He's more of I would say, the European or Latin American kind of player. Usually they come from clay, where you have to develop a wider variety in your game. You have to pretty much be like an all-around game player. Difference from coming to the US, that you usually come from hard court, where it's power. If you have a big serve, the hardcore helps you, you know. But when you go out there and play on clay, the story is very different. It's you you find out that clay players have better touch, they have better balance when they move. They usually are better. I would say that they think better. The points, they're smarter. They don't go for too much. So that's one thing that you want to pay attention to on your game. If you're the full out aggressive player, you're just going on. You pretty much have just plan A and that's it. That's one thing that I think that's the reason why Sharapova hasn't been able to beat Serena, because she has plan A. She can only hit the ball hard and that's it. She doesn't know how to slide. She doesn't know how to change, the pace of the ball. She doesn't know how to chip and charge. She doesn't know how to go hard on the serve or how to go with a very heavy spin kick serve. She didn't develop all those things. I mean, and it hasn't been bad for her. She's an excellent player. She has won many major tournaments. But when we think about that, you're limiting yourself. You want to be able to think more. Okay, be the passive aggressive guy. You're gonna save energy. When you play guys, you're gonna have to go out there and say, okay, let's test this guy, and you start hitting bullets. No, you test the guy hitting the ball back and show me what you got. How is your volley? How you move? How is your self control? Because those kind of players, those are the ones that make you think. You have to beat them. You have to beat them, and you don't beat them with power. You have to move the ball around. You have to do a lot of things that get you out of your comfort zone. So you want to pay attention to that. You want to pay attention to the more variety when you practice. You want to pay attention to being smarter, not being impulsive when you play. Power players are usually impulsive players. They blow up when things don't go well. Passive aggressive players are guys that they know that they don't go for too much emotionally as well as their game. They kind of keep it centered. Sometimes they go up and they go down. I got to be more aggressive, or I got to slow it down on this one. And they do the same with their emotions. Why? Because they know that they get used to longer points. They get used to handle with the stress, with the pressure, with the anxiety, with the nerves for longer periods of time. And many of them don't have the power to finish a point right away. So they have to develop that mental strength to say, okay, I have to move this guy around. I need this point. It's not like the guy that says, okay, I'm just going to go and hit a big bomb on my serve, and if that's in, probably the point is over, So pay attention how you're playing, pay attention how you're thinking, pay attention what you're doing, what kind of game you have, how you train. Remember one thing, you can train as much as you want your game, forehands, backhands, ground stroke, service, everything. But if your mentality is not training at the same, going at the same pace, if you're not paying attention to that as well, how am I going to move this ball around? What am I going to do here? Okay, I lost a point and you got to be quick. All that stuff is not going to work. If your game is ready, but your mind is not to win, it's just not going to happen. So try to pay attention more to being a passive aggressive player, guys. Develop that game all around. All right, well, I hope it helps. Have any questions, any suggestions, let me know. Remember, stay centered, be bold, and be perseverant.